So sharks have been around on the planet for a super long time, like 400 million years. They've survived extinction after extinction. They've just been waiting around on planet Earth for someone to put them in a talent show. And so that is what I will be doing tonight. Big Biology has refused to have a shark talent show. Several scholars, we tried to present this idea to them, but they refused, and there has been sort of a cover-up where they don't want these sharks to appear in a talent show. So tonight we will be presenting them. Several sharks approached me with the talent of eating humans, and they wanted to enter this talent show, and I refused them, and I said that was a dumb talent to have. And those sharks were banned from the Shark Talent Show for life, and they will not be joining us here tonight. In fact, no sharks will be joining us here tonight. There will be several problems with getting them here. Transportation is a big issue. We'd have to get some massive tanks and get the salinity of the tanks correct to facilitate their life. I don't know if they would get along or not, and what would happen if we put all these sharks together. So I want to be the stand-in in the shark's place, and tonight I will be channeling the spirit of talented sharks. In order to do this, though, we do have to get permission from the shark gods. So if you guys would join me in a opening prayer real quick. Please join me in an opening prayer. Dear shark gods, please smile upon your children and allow me to represent the sharks that cannot make it here today. And if you do not want this, please summon the holy lightning shark from hell depicted here to strike me down and end this presentation right now if you do not want this talent show to take place. And if this does not come to pass, then we will take this as a divine sign of your approval of the show. Alright, so I think we're good. I will...
Amen.
Amen. I think we're all good to go here. Alright. First contestant to the Shark Talent Show that I'll be introducing tonight is the basking shark. Basking shark. Where should we begin? Basking means to sit in the sun and absorb the sun's rays. The shark was originally seen by early seafarers on the surface of the ocean, so they thought it was basking. And this brings up the concept of a solar-powered shark, which is an interesting idea to contemplate. But it turns out that most scientists agree now that the shark was just on the surface because it was following its main prey, plankton, up there. The basking shark is one of 3 sharks that feeds on plankton, the other 2 being the megamouth shark and the whale shark. The whale shark is actually the only fish that is bigger than the basking shark. The basking shark is the second biggest fish in the ocean. It can weigh about 11,000 pounds and can reach 35 feet. So this is a pretty impressive shark that we are dealing with here. They don't pose a threat to humans. When you think of a shark, the main thing you think of is that you're going to get eaten by it. The shark will not eat humans. It has a filter-feeding mouth with very, very small teeth. It does have one talent that has in the past put humans in danger, and that is breaching. It will breach like whales or dolphins. It will jump out of the ocean, and it can land on sailboats and crush sailboats, which is an unfortunate talent for humans, having a shark crush your sailboats. But that is not the talent that brings the basking shark here tonight. Basking shark's big claim to fame is that it can produce a black slime on its skin, and this covers its whole body. It's thought that the basking shark produces this to dissuade parasites from latching on to its body. Slime smells really, really bad. It's been reportedly you can smell a basking shark coming even when it's very far away. Sailors have said because you can smell this. It's pretty nasty, but it is a very impressive talent. And some people once they became the second biggest fish in the world, they would stop right there. But you're not done yet after you become the second biggest fish. That's cool, but you still got some work to do. You gotta get back in the gym, and you gotta work out until you got some black slime covering you. This black slime has been reported to dissolve or rot away fishing nets when basking shark is accidentally captured by fishermen. It will rot their fishing nets away. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to present our first guest today, the basking shark. Hey guys, my name is Basking Shark. My talent today will be rotting fishing nets with black slime. So I'm just going to be using sriracha sauce tonight as black slime. And I will put a little of that on me. Some black slime. And so now I'm going to rot a fishing net away. So sriracha sauce is slightly acidic, so we should be observing a noticeable effect happening here pretty soon. Alright, so what I'm going to do is we're going to use scissors as black slime, and that will be a metaphor actually. And so you can see how this black slime is just completely destroying this fishing net. Alright, thank you guys. Alright, can we get another round of applause for the basking shark? That was good. That was a great performance. A really great way to kick off the night with the basking shark as our first contestant. I really enjoyed that. All right, moving on. We got a few other entrants, so we will leave the basking shark behind. Our next contestant is a member of the hammerhead shark family. Hammerheads in general, they're known for having a strange shape on their head. It's thought that this strange shape helps them swim faster, helps them make turns faster, increases their vision, and also facilitates the legendary sixth sense that sharks have, which is the ability to sense electrical fields. So the shape on their head allows more electrical sensors to be distributed throughout that region, and they can then use this to scan the bottom of the ocean to detect their main prey that they like to eat, rays and crabs. They can find these that are buried in the sand. They've also been known to have used their heads to pin down prey. Once they find it, they can trap it against the bottom of the seafloor. So this contestant is the bonnethead shark, and this is the smallest member of the hammerhead family. There are 7 species of hammerhead sharks, and this is the smallest. But it does have a very big talent. This shark is the first known omnivorous shark. And you're probably thinking, well, it probably doesn't eat that much vegetables. It's probably, most of its diet is probably meat still. Well, you'd be wrong in that assumption, because it's been found that the bonnethead shark's diet consists of up to 60% of seagrass. So it's kind of a strange concept for a shark to be eating all these veggies. You would not originally think that when you look at a shark and their pointy teeth. This shark retains pointy teeth. It doesn't have flat teeth like cows or humans that are better used for munching up vegetation. But that doesn't stop it from eating vegetation. It still goes out there and eats massive amounts of seagrass, which is very impressive. It does have special enzymes in its stomach that help break up the seagrass, and that is a good thing to have a backup plan. If your teeth are not going to do the job, you have the enzymes in your stomach on standby to help you out there. My backup plan is to jump fast several times. All right. So it is now my pleasure to introduce the bonnethead shark. Hello, everyone. My name is Bonnethead Shark, and my talent is consuming vegetation.
Oh! Oh! Brutal. This is sick. So good. Oh. That's disgusting.
It's so good. What do you think?
Sick. You want some ranch?
Thank you. That was a great performance by the bonnethead shark. I have seen him perform several times, and I can say that was one of his better performances. This is a really special treat to be able to work with these super talented sharks, be able to introduce them and interact with these extremely talented individuals. It's a blast, and I love my job. All right, our next contestant is a lesser-known relative of the mako shark and notorious great white shark. This is the salmon shark. Salmon shark, as you might have guessed by its name, is known for eating a lot of salmon. That'd be a fun life as a shark, to just swim around and eat salmon all day. I could really get into that. And I think me and the shark might have a lot in common. So eat salmon, parentheses, seasonally available, end of parentheses. When the salmon are not available, it will eat other things, but it'll go up to Alaska when the salmon are there, and it'll just eat them all day. So this shark hangs out in very cold waters up in Alaska, and it's got to have something to combat this. So the salmon shark is one of the only warm-blooded fish. Normally, warm-blooded creatures are mammals or birds, and there are only select few elite fish who have attained this ability to have warm blood, and the salmon shark is one of them. It's thought that the salmon shark is the warmest of all sharks. They're able to do this by a transfer of heat methodology, where they are conserving the heat that they generate by reintroducing it back into their system. Normally, a lot of waste heat is burned off into the ocean, but the salmon shark's body is designed so as to recycle this heat back into it. And the salmon shark has been recorded as having internal body temperatures up to 70 degrees higher than the cold ocean around it, which is very impressive. And it uses this heat to, warm up its organs and have its stomach be very warm. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you guys the salmon shark. My name is the salmon shark, and my talent is a heated stomach. So I have a heater here. Thank you. Again, another great performance. We have a really killer lineup here tonight. Yeah, this is a pretty great performance that these sharks are putting on for us tonight. It's going great. A few years ago, I ran into some hard times, and I couldn't afford a place to live. So I was looking online, and I saw all these people that are finding alternative ways to live. They were building tiny houses. They were converting vans so that I could live into them. And so in the summer of 2001, I moved into a hamburger. It was a very good setup. I could stay mobile. Wherever I was at the end of the day, I could take my hamburger out of my pocket. I would lay the bun down on the ground, put some lettuce and tomatoes on, and then I would lie down. And on top, I would put the bun and the patty, maybe some pickles. Good night, guys. I'm going to sleep in my hamburger now. When it got cold, I would just add some extra toppings. When it got very cold, I would just go into McDonald's and I would set up on one of the tables. There are so many hamburgers at McDonald's that no one would really see the difference. If there was one more hamburger in McDonald's, they really couldn't tell. And so I was able to stealth camp there, and that was a very good setup for me. It started catching on. Living in food, people caught on to this trend, and they really just wanted to live how their ancestors did. And so this became a big thing. There was a news story about one girl moved into a piece of French toast. Another guy moved into a blueberry. At a restaurant, someone moved into a steak and potato dinner as the waiter was bringing it out to the customer, and he was trying to catch a good deal on some new real estate. And the customer got pretty upset. After a few bites in, he realized that there was a human inside of their food. And he complained and said, "I would like to talk to the manager." And the guy living in the steak and potato dinner said, "I am the manager. You're talking to me right now. And I would appreciate it if you could get my new home away from your mouth. I would appreciate it if you could stop sprinkling salt and pepper on my new home. Thank you." And so that kind of tarnished the name of Food Livers, because that was a big health code violation. That's not very sanitary to have someone living in your food. So the community took some slack for that. I try to combat this. I would go out to neighborhoods, and I would stand outside people's houses and wait for them to come outside, and I would scoff at them. I say, "Really, you're in the 21st century, you're still living in a house?" And the guy would say, "Yeah, I live in a house. Do you live in a van or something? What's your deal?" I would say, "No, actually, I live in a hamburger, sir." And then I would carry around a bag of hamburgers with me, and I would just throw them at these people, just to give them a brief introduction to the hamburger lifestyle. I would also take out billboards. I'd buy them out and just have things written on them. "I live in a hamburger, and you should too." I was just out there advertising. Some people didn't like this, and they thought it was obnoxious of me, and this further tarnished the name of hashtag Food Lifers. So I had to go into exile because people just hated me so much and my food lifestyle, much like Yoda and Obi-Wan did at the end of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, when all the clone troopers turned on them, as well as Anakin Skywalker, and massacred all the Jedi. So I just went into the woods, and I traveled around for a while, and eventually I decided to set my roots down, and I found a nice field and made a permanent hamburger home for myself. And I lived there for roughly 20 years. Until one day, some people from a oil pipeline company came. They said, "You got to move your hamburger. We're building an oil pipeline through here." I said, "Buddy, I've lived here for 20 years. I'm not leaving this hamburger." And so then a kind of standoff began, where these construction workers, they would take shifts, and they would just stand there, verbally abusing me, just saying things like, "Hey, come on, get out of that hamburger. You've been in that hamburger long enough. Come on, it's time to get out of there." And this would go on for days and days on end. And eventually they realized this tactic wasn't working, and they had to try something else. So they kind of stirred up a witch hunt, where they spread rumors in neighboring towns that there were witches living in the woods, and people came out in mass. They were very eager to hunt some witches, and they were burning a lot of people at the stake. They tried to burn me at the stake, but I eventually convinced them that, "Hey, I'm not a witch. I'm just a guy living in a hamburger over here. Could you please not burn me alive?" And they came to their senses and realized that, yeah, there was nothing really magical or witch-like about me, and I was indeed just living in a hamburger. So that night, that was kind of a stressful day for me. That night, I went to sleep a little early, and I had a dream that there was a rabbit flying an airplane, and I teleported onto this airplane. When I got there, there were no passengers on board. There were just 2 flight attendants, and they told me that the captain was waiting for me, and they ushered me into the cockpit. And the control room of the cockpit was not made out of traditional airplane metals. They were made out of silver and gold. All the buttons and dials were studded with gemstones, rubies, diamonds, emeralds. And the bunny pilot turned to me and he said, come sit down with me. Come fly this plane with me. And so I sat down in the co-pilot seat, and I flew the plane with him. And we just sat there for a few hours and flew in silence. Eventually, he said something while still gazing out the window. He said, "Hey, do you have a cigarette?" I said, "I'm sorry, I don't." And the rabbit started laughing. And we just kept flying. I woke up the next day and I immediately knew that I had just received a divine vision from God. And that rabbit that asked me for a cigarette was God. And he had a message for me. So I called a meeting with the construction workers and I said, "Look, there's plenty of room in this hamburger. Build your pipeline right through it. We can share." And that is the story of how I came to be roommates with a oil pipeline. And we eventually became best friends, and we still keep in touch today. We got some real great sharks coming up. We're gonna take a 5-minute break here, and we'll return with our final 3 contestants for the Shark Talent Show. Please keep in mind that I know I'm just kind of springing this on you guys right now, but you guys are going to be the judges of the Shark Talent Show tonight. So make sure you're taking notes and just be observant, because I'm going to pass out some papers at the end of all this, and you guys are going to vote, and you guys will decide the winner of the triannual Shark Talent Show here. All right, we'll return in 5 minutes. All right, it's time to resume our show. And we're kicking it back off, part 2, with a really talented shark. This shark is the Greenland shark, and its reputation precedes itself. There are legends from the Inuit that this shark lived in the urine pot of the goddess of the ocean. There's another Inuit legend that this shark came from a pea rag that was tossed into the ocean, and it eventually became the shark. So this shark does smell like pee-pee, and hence the legends that have risen around this shark. It's also known as the sleeper shark. It's a very slow-moving shark, thought to be one of the animals with the slowest metabolism on Earth. And because of this very slow metabolism, it can live for crazy amounts of years. It's estimated that the shark can live at least 272 years, possibly upwards of 400 years. These numbers were obtained by scientists who took samples from the eyeball of the shark, and they carbon dated it. There's a set decay rate of a certain isotope of carbon, where it takes the carbon a certain amount of time to decay this amount, the carbon a certain amount of time to decay that amount. And based on how much remaining carbon they found in the eye, they could tell how long it took to get to that stage, and they were able to date the shark to at least 272 years old. But like I said, they suspect it could be up to 400 years or even greater, which makes the shark the longest living vertebrate on planet Earth, which is pretty cool. There's a big claim to fame, but that actually is not the talent that the Greenland shark is here to present. The talent the Greenland shark is here to present tonight is an ability that has to do with its flesh. So this creature is one of the only animals that stays in Arctic waters year-round. It does not migrate or leave when it gets cold. It stays in there. And it also frequents the deep seas. So it does have to have some crazy chemicals going on inside its flesh that grant it these abilities. And so it's been found that if you eat the flesh of the Greenland shark, it is toxic and it will make you very sick. This effect has been observed, and people call it that you're getting drunk off a shark. It messes you up pretty good and gives you a whole variety of symptoms when you consume the flesh of this shark. That would be some consolation if someone ate your flesh and killed you, that your legacy was living on through giving them vomiting and diarrhea. So, without further ado, I will introduce the Greenland shark, our fourth contestant for tonight. Hey guys, I'm the Greenland shark. I will need a volunteer from the audience for this performance. Okay, so pretty much could you just like go out in the hallway for like 5 seconds and then come back and just like pretend you ate my flesh and you got diarrhea? So that's like come back, just like leave for 5 seconds and then come back and I'm gonna ask you where you've been and then just say that you got diarrhea from eating my flesh. Hey, where have you been? I noticed you left a few minutes ago after eating my flesh.
I blew up the bathroom.
Well, that is what happens when you eat my flesh, and I hope that you learn your lesson and you don't do it again. Thank you. That was a good one. We got some tough competition here tonight. These sharks are really giving it all they got. All right, moving on to our fifth contestant, the lemon shark. The lemon shark is named the lemon shark because of its yellowy tint. It's thought that it is colored this way so that it can blend in with the bottom of the ocean floor with all the sand down there. It, like the hammerhead sharks, like to frequent the bottoms of the ocean to hunt their prey. These sharks will stay close to shore for the first 10 or 15 years of their life, and after that they will go out into the open ocean. What makes this shark a contender for the winner of the Shark Talent Show tonight is that this shark is really good at making friends. These sharks will gather in large groups sometimes, and the lemon sharks will go find particular sharks that they like and are friends with, and they will swim with them. And time after time when these sharks gather, it's been found that they will seek out the same sharks and hang out with them and not hang out with other sharks that they don't like. So this is a pretty cool ability for a shark, because normally you think of sharks as being really mean, but this shark is really good at making friends. Shark is such a powerful friend maker that it has transcended the species boundary. And it has been recorded making friends with humans. There's a lemon shark that scuba divers have nicknamed Blondie. And this shark will actively go up to divers, not to eat them, but it will bother them until the divers pet her on her nose. And they rub the nose, and the shark really likes it. And it's kind of a mystery as to why. Maybe it's just a friendly shark. Maybe it wants a massage on all the electroreceptors that are concentrated in the nose area, and it feels good. But either way, this shark is approaching humans and engaging in a friendly interaction with them. There's also a report from 2017 that a lemon shark approached a diver with a giant hook stuck in its belly, and it started nudging the diver and kind of harassing the diver, not trying to eat him. But the diver noticed that there was the hook in the shark, so the diver took it out, and the shark did kind of a display for him and swam around in some circles and then left. So it's thought that the shark was asking the diver for help to get help removing this hook from its body. Usually this is a phenomenon has been reported with other deep sea creatures such as whales. When whales are caught in nets and divers help them out, the whale, before it leaves, it'll make a point of going up to the divers and looking them in the eyes and then doing some kind of display for them, and that's thought to be the whale thanking them. It's interesting that something similar was recorded in a shark, because a shark you kind of think of as just a dumb fish, and they're really not on the emotional intelligence level as whales. But it appears we may have to rethink this, as the shark could have not only been thanking the diver, but perhaps the shark learned from other sharks that were having positive interactions with humans that humans could somehow help them remove this hook from his belly. These lemon sharks are known to pair up with their friends, and they will learn from the other shark by watching it. So could these sharks have learned from this blondie shark that was going up to humans and demanding pets, that humans could somehow help them out somehow and pass this information on? Rumors could get out of control, though, in the lemon shark community. That shark over there is building bombs. He's going to blow up a small colony of walruses. He's going to feed them soup and grilled cheese. But instead of cheese, he's going to put bombs in the sandwiches. He's making grilled bombs, and he's going to feed them to these walruses. And we have to stop this. We have to tell someone now so they can intervene and save these walruses. Alright, so without further ado, I introduce to you guys the lemon shark. I hope you guys enjoy his performance. Hello, I'm the lemon shark. I will need a volunteer from the audience for my performance for the Shark Talent Show tonight. Yes. Okay. So my talent tonight will be making friends. Hello, do you want to be my friend?
I would love to.
Thank you. Thank you. Sharks are killing it tonight, guys. You sharks are really killing it tonight. All right, we have come to the final member of the Shark Talent Show. This is the frilled shark. Not a lot is known about the frilled shark except that it looks like a sea monster. So without further ado, I present to you guys the frilled shark. Hello, my name is the frilled shark, and my talent tonight will be looking like a sea monster and inspiring sea monsters everywhere. Alright, come on guys, you can be a sea monster. Come on guys, you got this. Being a sea monster, not a lot of people have attained this level of monstrosity, and it takes a lot of guts to go out there and be a sea monster, and I know that you guys can do this if you just keep working. I know you guys can be a sea monster. Thank you. Alright, so that was our final contestant for the Shark Talent Show tonight. Now, as promised, I will be passing out sheets for you guys to vote. So, if you could pass these out. We got some pens here. And if you guys could just circle the name of the shark that you think deserves to win the Shark Talent Show tonight. I'm going to take a minute and tally these up right here. Can we just get one more round of applause for all of our contestants that were here tonight? They all did a really amazing job. So the winner of the Shark Talent Show is the bonnet head shark with his talent of consuming vegetation. So I will be calling out the bonnet head shark for an encore presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
This really means a lot to me that you guys voted me the winner of the Shark Talent Show tonight. I really appreciate all my fans and all you guys coming out here and showing your support tonight. Thank you. I'm very proud of all our contestants tonight. They all did an amazing job. But the real winner is actually me, because I was all the sharks. So, actually, I have won the Shark Talent Show. And I am the most talented shark. Alright, a closing note. It is fun to speculate. What talents would a shark in space have? This is what a space shark would look like. Multiple horns, multiple eyes, multiple mouths, multiple fins. And this shark would be a very proficient ice sculptor. His talent would be creating sculptures of ice, and he would be renowned throughout the universe for his sculptures. Hopefully, this event does take place multiple times. There are so many sharks in the world and in the universe that we will be having another Shark Talent Show at some point. That is it for today.